If I had to learn the muscle up all over again as a complete beginner, here is exactly what I would do. And I have one critical tip that most people leave out. At a high level, you want to break your training into two distinct parts. Exercises that train the bottom half of the movement and exercises that train the top half of the movement. For the bottom half, you're going to want to start with a few basic prerequisites, including a 30-second dead hang, 8 strict form pull-ups, and the ability to hold yourself above the bar for about 5 seconds. Once you've mastered those, you'll want to start practicing explosive pull-ups, where your body takes a curved path around the bar instead of going straight up and down. At a certain point, you'll get high enough where you can try to start to rotate those forearms around that bar. And here's where the upper part of the training is going to come in. All you really need for the upper part of the movement is one thing: dips. Start with your hips aligned with your wrists. Slowly try to shift your weight backwards to mimic the displacement for a muscle up. As you progress, try to get lower and lower with your dips so you can build strength at the very extreme of this range of motion. And then it's just about putting them both together. But here's the critical thing most people leave out. The first critical tip is the rotational position of your hands relative to the bar. The first instinct, and actually the correct form for a standard pull-up, is to have your wrist pointed straight down, essentially, maybe a few degrees off that gravity vector. Where you want to be for a muscle up, and you can implement this in your training exercises as well, is essentially with your wrists almost above the bar, rotated much more forwards, and fingers gripping around and pointing back at you. Be delicate your first time trying this, because this does put a lot of load on the wrists and requires training to build up to this. Critical tip number 2 is leveraging some of this angular momentum that we have with a well-timed tuck of the knees. You basically want to start the knee swing just after you've reached that forward endpoint and you start to feel yourself swing back. So remember, bottom half, lower half, grip, and legs. Let me know how it goes.